Carolina Tar Heels, and basketball may be in the blood, but football is certainly in the soul. What an exciting matchup we have in store for you this afternoon, built around the pageantry, tradition, and everything that makes college football great. As we'll see, the Rebels taking on a team from the ACC, the North Carolina Tar Heels. Glad to have you with us for EA Sports College Football. I'm Reese Davis, David Pollock, and Jesse Palmer with me in the booth. Guys, we are ready to tee it up. And the Rebels ready to put toe to leather and get this season started. He'll bring it out from inside his own 10. Needed just a little more help to turn that into a big return. They'll mark him down at the 29. So North Carolina's offense will start this game off. And here comes, for the first time as a starter, this talented freshman. And Jesse, it seems like quarterbacks mature quicker and quicker these days, and they're ready to grab the reins.
Yeah, you're seeing it more and more, and there's more high school quarterbacks now ready to take the next step and compete and perform in college football. But listen, I started as a true freshman back at Florida. I guarantee you he has so much nervous energy going right now because he has never played in an environment like this. And he has never played against competition like this either, David.
No, it's crazy. And that was 1920. So imagine now with all the technology and how much he's feeling the nerves. Obviously, all the eyeballs in the stadium is on him. Everybody knows what he's capable of, but he's going to be the first guy to touch the football. It's going to revolve around him, and that's a lot to ask of a freshman.
I'll tell you, this guy has to get touches early in games. They're doing a good job of that right now. He's so dangerous once he has the ball in his hands. And I think if you're on offense, you move him around and you find more creative ways to get him involved.
The Tar Heels have it with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw again. Got rid of it in a hurry, but he couldn't find his man. It's incomplete. They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Back to pass. Fires to the middle. Got his man downfield. And they finally get him stopped, but it's a big throw and catch, and he's down at the 5.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
Back in motion, try to clear the picture. He's looking to throw. Quickly complete. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. They've pushed it ahead to the 4. They'll try to cash in on 2nd and goal. Finds his big tight end. Touchdown, UNC! Made the grab and then did the rest himself, and they put points on the board. They draw first blood, and that is exactly what you want to open the season with a drive like that.
What an exciting way to start this season. This offense had a plan. They knew who they wanted to be, but you had to come out and execute it, and that was a beautiful first drive, creating some momentum, not only for this offense, but for this squad to start the season.
Getting set for the extra point after putting the scoreboard to work for the first time. And the PAT makes it 7-0. They took it 71 yards down the field. They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. Fielded in the end zone. It's Flowers. That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line. The Rebels offense has the ball for the first time. We'll be watching this matchup on the outside closely today, David, to see if this guy can get anything done one-on-one against one of the best corners in the game.
Well, and this corner really can shut down half the field, and that's a big problem. This offense, they really need to win this matchup. They need their wide receiver to beat that defensive back, and I don't know if that's possible. He's just so good, been so consistent. Palmer, you tell me how you're going to win this matchup.
Well, you're not going to win it every play, that's for sure. And you can't avoid that side of the field the entire game. I think it's just going to come down to this offense in the critical down and distances when there's a 3rd down. And and the coverage didn't.
And the pressure gets him back at the 8-yard line.
And listen, the quarterback drops back, and he's going through his progressions. We see zone, but just couldn't do anything about it. This defensive line, this pressure, getting to the quarterback, getting him on the ground.
The Rebels will punt this one away. They'll have to punt for the first time this afternoon. He gets it away from his own end zone. And the punt team able to sling him to the ground. The North Carolina offense returns to the field. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. Right on the money. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few. A little bit more to go after that last completion. They'll try to pick it up on second down. The play action fake. It's complete to the left. Just what this offense was looking for. Sets him up at the 26 with the first down. Wants to go up top on first down. Fires to the right. Complete downfield. He's run out of bounds after the big gain, and they are in business, first and goal. Here's the snap, looking to throw. Looking for the goal line. He's all the way down to the 2-yard line. Just spectacular execution there. Pushes for the goal line. And he'll lose yardage on this play. Loses 2 yards. Great job by the defense. And now after getting knocked back, they'll try it again, this time from the 5 on 3rd and goal. Can't make the grab as he was going for 6 right there. And they'll send out the kicker to try a field goal. And he'll boot one from the right hash. He ought to be able to navigate that angle from this distance. Splits the uprights right down the middle. And they'll push that lead out a little further.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Out of the gun to give to the back. Makes a man miss. Out to the 36-yard line after gaining 10 on that one. And the Rebels want to crank the tempo.
But how about that? Right after they get the explosive play running the ball, they're going right back to the line of scrimmage for some tempo.
Looking downfield on first down. Finds his tight end. That's a really good tackle there, giving up some size and still making the play.
I like the idea by the quarterback there. You're trying to get this first down, so you find the tight end, see if he can make a guy miss or shake a tackle. Not able to get it done.
And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete. After the second down misfire, looking at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, wants to pass. Pressure is on the way, and the pressure has arrived, and down he goes at the 30.
Man, it didn't take long for the defense to get home on that play. You see them playing man coverage in the back end, slowing down the routes from the receivers and the rest of the offense. That forced the quarterback to have to hold on to it for just a split second longer, and they were able to get the sack.
The Rebels send out the punt unit. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. He looks it in and makes the fair catch, and they'll have it at the 32. They'll start this drive at the 33-yard line. Out of the chute, quick toss to the right. At the 45, on his way. Turning it on. No one there to stop him, except the fella in the striped shirt who threw the penalty flag. This one might be coming back. The penalty wipes out the big play and the touchdown. It is just a punch in the gut for any offense. They'll run the RPO and fire to the right. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short gain there. Working well behind the sticks on second down. Wants to go up top. The throw. Complete in the middle. And the big gain, and they've got it on the 46. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. The offense setting up shop at the 46, 1st and 10. Looking to throw on 1st down. Got his man on the right. Guys, let's talk a little bit about North Carolina. The only important expectations are the ones inside the program, but when you start the season on the outside of the rankings looking in, it can give you a little bit of an edge, can it?
Yeah, they want to prove.
And the defense picks up a sack, getting the quarterback down at the 44. The defense coming up big there, and the sack is great, but the secondary deserves some credit too.
No doubt. When you can cover like that in the secondary and drop back in your zone and only rush a few, and you feel comfortable getting home and they're going to get to the quarterback, that is a great feeling, and that's fun to be a defensive coordinator calling the plays.
On 3rd down, he drops to throw. Working that left side now. He gets it oh so close to the 1st down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short. Oh, he missed it. No good. The lead is still at double digits, but missed a chance to make it bigger.
And sometimes I just feel like 4th down, man, just go for it every time. Like the field goal miss-make rate. And listen, kickers have improved the last couple of years, but you left some points off the scoreboard there.
Pulls and fires complete. Nice gain on that play, but leaves it a little short of the 1st down. Off play action. Here's the pressure. He gets the job done, picking up the 1st down, then getting down. And the Rebels moving quickly to the line.
Most offensive coordinators want to be really aggressive on 2nd and short. And I love the quarterback here. He drops back.
And the heat gets home. They knock him down back at the 45.
Well, I think one of the biggest reasons why this team is finding themselves in the hole here in the 1st half is this has been a sack party. They can't keep the defense off of their quarterback. They haven't been able to get the ball deep down the field, throwing it with the consistency they want because they can't keep their quarterback standing up straight.
The Rebels trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Looking to fire. And he drops it. Just took his eye off of it at the last minute. Got quite a ways to go to keep this drive going. It's 3rd down from the 45. He's looking downfield to throw. Under fire. And the quarterback will take a sack back at the 36.
What a great job by this defense setting the tone early. In the 1st half, they've been hitting the quarterback early and often. Make him feel uncomfortable. Make him feel that pressure. Keep getting him on the ground. That's why they've built a lead.
And the Rebels will try to pin them back with the punt. Hauls it in, looking for space. They'll put a stop to that return at about the 37-yard line. They'll snap it from the 37 for the 1st play of this drive. Going with the ground game left. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Didn't get much done on that 1st play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Back to pass. Tight end finds a soft spot. They'll get the 1st down. It's spotted on the 49. New set of downs after the completion. It's complete on the right side. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. So now it's 2nd and long. They'll try it over the left side. Makes a man miss. And he's able to shed one tackle and gets a pretty good pickup. And the Tar Heels are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. On 3rd and short, they'll ride the running back here. There to make the tackle, and that's how we'll wrap up this first period. Guys, we've reached the end of the period, and North Carolina's on top. And they jumped out to that edge early. As we wrap up the first, let's take a quick look at our game stats. Big turning point as we head into the second and get this game rolling again. So first down here as they go back to work. He's got it on the right. Knocked down at the 25-yard line. Picked up 10 there and gets a first down. The Tar Heels come to the line with a fresh set of downs. They'll leave it with him. Look out, he's got room. Oh, he's got some space. And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Tar Heels.
I think you love starting the year off with some momentum, and that's exactly what this offense is doing. They're firing on all cylinders, defense doing their job as well. This team getting out the gates to start the season in great fashion.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point is good. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Boys, expect the unexpected in college football, and for some, this update could fall under that category. Florida sparkled today in a dominant road win. In fact, by the fourth quarter, it almost felt like this game was being played in the swamp. That's how much they took that crowd out of it. Regardless the outcome today, guys, these are still two quality programs. Proof the sport is as healthy as ever.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there.
And after giving up a long run defensively, they don't have a chance to substitute now. They've got to get ready to go because the offense is going tempo.
And the offense has a little bit of success, and what do? They push that turbo button right back on the line, ready to run another play.
Off the play fake. Got him downfield. And he's brought down after a nice gain. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. This offense has been sluggish to say the least, but finally they're on the move on 1st and 10. Used the play fake, now to throw. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. He'll go down right there, but what a big play to come up with that turnover.
And you will always remember your first, and how about that? Breaking on the football, getting an INT, the first INT. Keep the football, brother. The first of many big-time plays for this guy.
They'll try to put a drive together starting from the 36. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Wants to go up top. Fakes the grab on the left. They ripped off 7 on that one. Now a 3rd down and 3. They'll try to get the first through the air. They've got the screen set up. Across the 50 and down and out of bounds at the 44. A good pickup on that one. Wants to throw on 1st down. Looking down the middle. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks.
It feels like everything this play caller has called has worked so far in this first half for the offense. They've generated a really nice lead, lighting up the scoreboard, and they're staying aggressive. They're throwing the football. They're dictating everything right now to the defense.
Leaves it with the back. He'll be hauled down just inside the 10 at the 9 as they're trying to turn this into a score. Going to work on second down in the red zone. Is still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. He'll pull it on the read. He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line. And the Tar Heels have it with a first and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, North Carolina! Precision blocking up front. Created the open lane, and the running back followed it beautifully.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to follow an offensive line that makes those holes and just gives you a caravan all the way to the end zone. What an unbelievable job blocking up front.
Lining up to add another. The kick is up and good, and put one more on the lead. Kickoff unit has been busy as they have built a big lead, and they're trying to hold on to it. On the run from inside his own 5. And the returner goes down. Good news, I guess. A lot of room to work with as they start this drive from their own 15. To the air on first down. And he'll chuck that one away and save the down. Nobody was able to get open. 4 wide out set, 2 on either side on 2nd and 10. They'll send the back in motion. Second down, they'll go to the air. Gets it to the back. He is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose yards on that one. This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field. And that defense gets to him, and down he goes at the 9.
How about this defense in this game so far? Already 5 sacks, and we're only in the second quarter. I think if you're the offensive coordinator, you have got to start mixing up these play calls, moving the pocket, get your quarterback away from danger, because it's obvious. These offensive line, they cannot hold up, and they cannot get it done.
So from the shadow of his goalpost, he gets the punt away. Fair catch, called for and made. North Carolina has it back, and the Tar Heels so pleased to send the offense back out. Off the play fake on first down. A strike downfield. They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down. Looking to throw on first down. Finds the tight end. And the runner is down, and so is a flag.
Hold.
Amazing how many times an offensive holding penalty will stall a drive. We'll see if the offense can overcome it. They'll go to the air. They'll run the screen. He'll go out of bounds right at the 30-yard line. A big play has this offense in business. Trying play action. That one comes out hot down the right side. Defense knocks him down immediately after the catch, but now they're facing a goal-to-go situation from the 7. A first down run on the doorstep. He'll be brought down at the 5-yard line, and this defense is on its heels. Offense trying to pay it off on second and goal. The run up the middle, trying to steamroll his way in. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, UNC!
Another rushing touchdown. That's now 2 on the game. This offense thought they could come into this one running the ball, being the more physical team, and they look like it right now.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And he tacks on the extra point. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. On the move from inside his 5. And they'll get him on the ground as the offense comes out to start the next drive. They'll try to put something together, backed up a bit, starting at their own 13. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. After getting knocked back to open this drive, it's 2nd and 12. Give to the running back. Breaks into the open. Really good job making a play, getting it out to the 24 and moving those chains. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. First and 10 from their own 24-yard line. Use the play fake, now to throw. It's caught downfield. Moves up to the 34-yard line, give him a 10-yard pickup.
And that's a really good example of why offensive coordinators script plays. You know the down and distance, and you know which routes can get you to the stick. So there's no wasted time. That coordinator got the play in early to his quarterback, knowing that his players were going to be able to execute.
Thanks to grab. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. Second down, he'll throw it. A little release to the back. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. The Rebels come to the line on third and short, trying to convert here. Wants to throw on third. He's got his man. He gets it out across the 45 and out of bounds at the 46. And the Rebels will snap it on first and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. He makes the grab. Terrific job getting to him. There was nowhere to go. Plenty of work to do here on second and long. From the gun, the ground game. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it. Wow, this offense is just stuck in the mud. They've already punted 4 times, and it's third down now. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. The Rebels decide to punt it away. They may have to pay him overtime. He's punting for the 5th time today. Another punt on the way. Got to make sure those hammies and glutes all activated. Don't want any muscle pulls from overuse. No reason to be in a big rush. They have some time here late in the half. He let that thing fly quickly, but he couldn't make the connection. Well, will they dial up on second and a long way to go? Looking to fire. And the throw out to the sideline, good for a few. Now facing a third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. He's got it. And this defense has its work cut out to get this dude on the ground. He was shedding serious tackles on his way to picking up the first. Offense has it at the 28 on first down. Use the play fake, now to throw. Just a short pass to the tight end. They stop him just a link or two short of the first, and man, what they can do on second down here. Back to pass. Oh, goes right through his hands, and he will think about that one for a while. It'll be third down. The Tar Heels come to the line needing just inches for the first down. Wants to throw on third down. Using the quick game. And it's a first down. They'll mark it at the 44. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Wants to go up top on first down. Quickly to the tight end. And he broke one tackle on the way to a solid pickup there. One more snap coming before juice boxes and orange slices. They'll go to work in the air on second down. Quickly out to the tight end. They'll knock him down, and that'll take us to halftime. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Thanks, guys. What a scene there in Chapel Hill. What a fine performance we've seen. And we'd be remiss if we didn't start this halftime report by giving props to this superstar tight end. He's been almost, you know what, check that. He has been unguardable with that unusual blend of speed, size, hands, and route running. He is a pick-your-poison kind of player. And with that, let's send it back to the guys there on Stadium Drive at Keenan Memorial.
He'll put total leather and get this second half started. He'll bring it out. It's Flower. That is a decision he will likely regret. He brings it out of the end zone, and he's knocked down at the 10. looking downfield on first down. That pressure got to him, and he just had to chuck it out of bounds. 4 wideouts set, 3 of them to the left on 2nd and 10. Wants to go up top. Unloads to the wideout. And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical in pass D. Now backed up in their own end. It's 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass.
This has been a frustrating day, and I'm not sure it's going to get any better. You're already down huge. Listen, this offense can't protect this quarterback. They don't do anything right now. This defense has had their number all game long.
And the Rebels will line up to punt it away. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. So from his own end zone, the punt is away. And the return man reaches the end of the line, and down he goes. The North Carolina offense returns to the field. Red pass, it's complete. Didn't pick up a lot there, moved it forward just a few. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. Now the play fake. Fires to the tight end. And he'll step out of bounds after a very productive play. And the Tar Heels come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep the drive moving. On 3rd and short, they keep it on the ground here. He's got enough for the first down. They'll spot him at the 24-yard line. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Right back to the well. Got it into the red zone, dragged down at the 18-yard line. The Tar Heels with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Looking to fire. He's got it on the run. Touchdown, Tar Heels. Nice catch and good work afterwards to get it into the end zone.
And added on again, this offense has done whatever they want, however they want, and this lead has ballooned. When you start a season off, you want to build momentum. You want to defeat an opponent and beat them badly. That's exactly what they've done. This team looks ready to compete for a national championship.
And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. Arizona State is having its way offensively, just marching up and down the field at a breathtaking pace.
Sends it back in motion. Looking to throw on first down. Got his man out of the backfield.
Guys out of the backfield now, it's not just run the ball downhill anymore. You got to be versatile. I got to be able to trust you in the pass game, and I got to be able to throw you the football, and you can do that right there. I know you're going to catch it, and I can depend on it.
Brought down at the 31 after a pickup of 10 yards on that one. And they'll line up from the 31 on first down. The give to the tailback. Some hard running there, but just too many defenders as he stopped for a loss. The Rebels now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. They feed him again. They just blew through that offensive line. It's a 4-yard loss. Probably the toughest call on the play sheet. 3rd and long. Ball's at the 25. Looking to the big tight end. Makes a connection. He'll step out of bounds right at the 44. A big time pickup on that one. From the gun, the running back looking for room. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. They'll run it from the gun. A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop. Now trying to keep this drive alive on 3rd and long from the 45. From the gun, wants to pass. Nowhere to go with the ball, and down he goes is at the 39.
And it's been a long day. I mean, there's not much to point out that this offense has done well. They're behind huge, and they got no shot if they can't somehow find a way to protect their quarterback.
And the Rebels will send out the punt unit.
In punt formation to kick it away.
They'll get down and put a stop to the return at about the 28-yard line. They'll christen this drive from the 28-yard line. They'll give it to the back.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
At midfield, he's got room. And he can't hold on to the ball at the end of this big game. Everybody needs a little luck, and the offense just got it by falling on that fumble.
Yeah, the receivers got to do a better job in ball security there with all those defenders trying to rip it free, and this offense is lucky they were able to jump on it to keep possession.
And let's hold on just a minute here as the officials are going to have a second look. And you know the standard is indisputable video evidence, and the officials will change the call. Pulls and fires it complete to the right. Running like he wants that football as he gets to the 37. And the Tar Heels with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. To the air on second down. Got his man. And he's knocked down immediately, but not before he moves the chains. They'll put it in play from the 27, first down. Wants to throw on first down. He's got his man, makes the grab. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line. They're working that left side. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. Going up top again. The quick out. So close to that end zone. He could almost taste it, but it'll be first and goal for this offense. Looking to throw. Gets it out fast. Touchdown, North Carolina! Hauled that baby in and then strolled into the end zone for the score.
How about the day for this young fella? 3 receiving touchdowns. Hey, defense, that guy's good. We might want to do something about it. Let's send 2 at him. Let's send 3 at him. We can't let this guy continue to beat us time and time again.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point was good as they finished the drive. So it's a 73-yard touchdown drive. They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? He'll start the return inside his 5. Good job by the coverage unit to stop the return man. His drive will open from the 15. The run from the shotgun. Stonewalled again. No gain on the play. They keep trying to stick with the running game, but there's not much getting done. Handoff from the shotgun. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. The Rebels need their binoculars to find that line to gain here on third down. Going to throw it over the top of the D. Interception, and things are going from bad to worse.
And talk about being an impact player for his defense. That's now his 2nd interception in this game. Time and time again, when they've thrown his direction, he's come up with a big play. And in a tight game like this, those 2 interceptions, that is massive for this defense.
Tar Heels so pleased to send the offense back out. They unleashed an aerial assault last time that took them right to the end zone, David.
So, Reese, with that drive, I think you've accomplished something you wanted to accomplish. Make this defense think. You put them back on their heels. Now, shoot, Palmer, you might be able to slip a few runs in on this drive to really jack them up.
Yeah, I like that idea, but I also like the fact that speed kills. And they've got it at the...
Touchdown, UNC! Made the grab and took it on in for the score. This is like a baseball pitcher that can't miss. He is just pounding the strike zone.
That just gets in the zone, right? And you can't miss. You've seen quarterbacks get like that no matter what they do. They're on fire. They're hitting the receivers. And listen, that's also on the defense. The defense has to do a better job making him feel uncomfortable, changing what they're doing in coverage so he's a little bit confused. You can't just let him pick you apart.
Ready to try the point after. And with the extra point, the lead is even bigger. They got the ball in great field position, and bam, bam, 2 plays and into the end zone.
52, Coyotes, 0.
He'll bring it out. It's James. That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line. Opening play of this drive comes from the 12-yard line. From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. Finds his way ahead for 3 out to the 16. After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. Trying to impose their will with the run. Great penetration by this defense, and they knock him down behind the line, a loss of 1. They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Makes the grab. They'll stop him short of the line to gain. Stopped him just short of the 20 at the 19. It'll be 4th down. And the Rebels will call on their punt team. He'll try to really get into this one. He'll call for the fair catch here. The North Carolina offense returns to the field. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they wanted to do. Build the lead. Now, Palmer, it's a different animal. Now you got to protect it.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice this week in the film room because they have gone out, everybody right now on the same page.
And you want to talk about his favorite receiver, it might be everybody based on the number of guys getting touches and a chance to show off their hands in the passing game. So will the beatdown continue, or is this a comeback for the ages in store? We'll see as we start the 4th. So the final period starts with a 2nd down play. Back to pass. Just a little bit too much juice on that one as the freshman was taking a shot. The Tar Heels come to the line on 3rd and short, hoping to keep the drive alive. Shotgun snap on 3rd down. Quarterback can't pull the trigger, and down he goes at the 41.
And quite simply put, you don't see that happen very often against him. He is one of not just the best quarterbacks in the game, he's one of the best players in the game. He's a Heisman Trophy candidate that oftentimes doesn't make mistakes like that. He should have thrown that football away. He decided to try and do too much, and the defense made him pay. They get a massive, massive sack, and this offense loses a ton of yards.
They'll get him down at the 21-yard line. The coverage team able to stop him right there. They come to the line for the first play of the drive, snapping it from the 21. From the gun, leaves it on the inside with the back. And he never had a chance, just stopped cold as soon as he got it. They'll try the run. Found a little bit of running room, knocked down at the 24 after a pickup of 4. It'll be 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. And he can't make the connection on his first attempt. The Rebels line up to punt it away. No fair catches here, looking for room. He'll get it up to about the 44-yard line before they slam the brakes on it. North Carolina has it back, and the Tar Heels so pleased to send the offense back out. They'll have another opportunity to extend this lead after punting last time, David.
And it's important to put that punt behind you. It's over. Let it go. Get back to what you were doing that built this lead.
Yeah, and defense, obviously, they won a few downs that last drive, so you got to put them on their heels here. Maybe mix up a few personnel groupings and try to show them some pictures they haven't seen yet.
And the Tar Heels can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Quick completion to the right. Nice move, create some space. Nice pitch and catch there, and they'll have enough for the first down. The Tar Heels come to the line with a new set of downs. Here's a quick throw out to the left. And he motors into the end zone. Touchdown, Tar Heels!
Well, I think this home environment was just too much for their opponents to handle. There's been unbelievable noise and energy. The crowd showed up today, but how about the playmaking on the field? These guys have got dudes all over the field, and this kind of win week one sends a statement and reverberates all across college football.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And he tacks on the extra point. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. Ohio is getting cooked right now at home, and it's all over but the crowd. A lopsided affair filled with miscues and missed tackles.
Wide receiver going in motion. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Wide open downfield. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down.
This has been a frustrating day. I mean, they haven't moved the ball consistently, and now you get a play, but they haven't put 2 and 3 and 4 plays together, and that's why they're trailing in this football game. So maybe they can find some kind of a rhythm here late in the game and get something cooking.
Trying to hit him with a quick game on first down, and nothing doing there. Second down, they'll go to the air. Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32.
How about this defense? No mercy. Like, listen, I know we're up big, but they are still hunting, still flying around, still chasing, still making life really miserable for this offense.
The defense all revved up after that earlier sack, and they'll try to stop him right here. On third and long, no secret what he needs here. And the defense gets loose, bringing the heat, and down he goes again.
Well, the defense is not taking their foot off the gas. They've got a huge lead. We're early in the fourth quarter, and still they're getting pressure on this quarterback, registering a sack.
And the Rebels will punt it away on fourth down. Hand goes into the air for the fair catch, and the catch is made around the 40. They'll start this drive 60 yards in front of them from their own 40. Give to the back. And he was able to run through one tackle, but still only a modest gain. Solid pickup of 4 on first down. It's 2nd and 6. QB draw. Got the first down and more.
And how about the QB? We haven't seen it all game long, man. Nice job coming up big in a big moment in the fourth quarter. He says, nobody there, takes off, does it with his feet, and gets the first down.
He's finally stopped, but not before he takes it into the red zone. They'll mark it at the 18. And the Tar Heels just got that huge run. They love another explosive play. From the red zone, looking for a man. He caught it. That completion will take it inside the 4, and the offense is threatening. Defense is backed up. Shadow of the goalpost, trying to defend their own end zone. They'll use the running game on 1st and goal. He steps and powers and works his way. They finally get him down at the 2. Now on 2nd and goal. Slams ahead. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, North Carolina!
Man, this has been a complete performance. The defense has been lights out, and the offense, obviously, just continues to pour it on. This is what you call having a great day. Putting it all together, offense, defense, complementary football.
And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. Kickoff unit getting some extra work as this lead has really grown.
66, Coyotes, 0.
And he hauls it in, and everybody's on the edge of their seats. And the returner will be dragged down. They'll try to put a drive together, starting from their own 12. Here's the handoff. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. They got to get more creative, but whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to be challenged up front. That was a big MO for this offense coming into it. But the defense, they've risen to the occasion. Their front 7 has dominated this entire game.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. They'll go to the ground. There he goes. He stopped at the 15. Not enough for the first down, and you'd think we'd see the punt team. The Rebels will bring the punt team onto the field. Playing the field position game as he makes the fair catch right at the 50. The North Carolina offense returns to the field. To the air on 1st down. Fires to the tight end. They pick up half of it. It'll be 2nd and 5. Snagged out of the air. They're able to get him stopped just shy of the 1st down marker. The Tar Heels come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to keep the drive alive. The give and tick, 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 tick. He gets the job done on 3rd down. They move the chains. It's at the 37. Off the play fake on 1st down, wants to throw. They've avoided the interception all day, but they were lucky to get that one back here late. It'll be 2nd down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Power football with the run. Powers through the defender. Just enough room to gain a couple down to the 34. Clock stops. We have reached the 2-minute timeout, and this offense just a couple of minutes away from putting one in the win column. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. And they pick up just a few on that completion. So they'll send out the field goal unit. He'll have to generate power and some accuracy. A 50-yarder from the left hash. No good. They blow the field goal. Something finally goes wrong.
North Carolina, 66, Coyotes, 0.
Decent field position to start this drive from their own 33. They go to the ground. They'll rip off 8 on that play. It's 2nd and 2. And the Rebels with myriad options after that big pickup on 1st down. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Makes the grab on 3rd. And boy, is he close to that 1st down, maybe just a couple of inches short. The Rebels will punt this one away. Fair catch is made inside his own 20 at the 17-yard line. Leaves it with the running back. Just searching and working for the running room as he gets it out to the 26. The old coaching cliche, go win-0 every week. And for the first week, they get it done.
Great start to the season. That's what you want. You want to come out, find a way to win. Was it perfect? Absolutely not. You're going to find things to work on throughout the season. But 1-0, that's where you wanted to be.
And I think if you're the coaching staff of this winning team, you've got to like what you've just seen. First game of the year, there was tremendous effort on the field. Guys flying around, flying to the football, trying to make the plays necessary to win this game. They definitely made a few mistakes, but that's what practice is for. And if you're the coaching staff, I think you're very, very positive right now moving forward.
That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.